Hey everybody, this is Mike Jones from the Connection Games and Comics with another Friday Night Magic booster draft, drafting Dragon Maze Gatecrash Return to Ravnica, and this was from Friday, May the 10th, 2013. Tonight's draft we had 2 pods of 8 and 2 pods of 6. So what's that? 12 plus 16, 28 players total. I'm drafting in one of the 8-man pods. Of course we draft Dragon Maze, then Gatecrash, then Return to Ravnica, so let's see what we get. We'll open up our Dragon Maze booster pack. Give you a bit of a spoiler, I don't win this week. So if you're looking for only for draft videos where the player wins, this isn't going to be one of them. Alright, so what have we got in this pack? Bronze Big Moa, Down and Dirty, Gorger, Ready and Willing is our rare, and Is It Guildgate? I hadn't read Ready and Willing before, but it says creatures you control get indestructible and untap them for the Ready side, and Willing is creatures you control get lifelink and death touch. So for 6 mana, you untap all your creatures, give them indestructible and death touch and lifelink. Pretty nice trick at instant speed. So that basically puts me into white, green, black, which is one of the 3 color combos that I really like. Puts you in Orzhov in the Gatecrash pack, Selesnya and Golgari in the Return to Ravnica pack. So I'm like, this seems pretty good. I'll explain why that's not so good later. Picking 3 colors with your first pick is difficult. So we get Mara Tendrils, which is the rare, the 7-drop. I talked about that one last week. Don't like that one that much. Unflinching Courage is there. The First Blade, decent common. Mutant's Prey, haven't decided if I'm going that route. The Thrashing Moss Dog gets consideration, and Weapon Surge doesn't. So really it's Unflinching Courage, the Feral Assassin, the Emra, the Thrashing Moss Dog. And there's a Rakdos Drake there as well. Since I'm playing green, white, black, the Rakdos Drake is in consideration. Unflinching Courage, I wanted to give this card a try, so that's the card I take here. So that's the one, +2/+2, trample and lifelink, basically the old Armadillo Cloak with the new name. Boros Mastiff. I'm getting some good Boros signal here. Maybe at this point I should have said, switch into Boros. Spike Jester is also very strong. Ubolthar, that's the Gatekeeper one, where if you have 2 gates, they get -2/-2. You really want, I found the Gatekeepers, if you're not the heavy gate strategy, they're just a 2/4 for 4. Kind of underwhelming, but I pick it up here and with the hopes that maybe I'll pick up some gates. Again, I'm playing 3 colors already, so I'm not unreasonable to think that I'm going to do a high pick for gates. So we get Render Silent, the rare, so this is like 4th pick rare, and Jelena Sphinx, so another blue-white card. So maybe the person to my right, which I believe was Theo, was signaling that blue-white was open. Lie of Decree, there's the Tithe Drinker, and another Thrashing Moss Dog. Tithe Drinker, okay, I'm a big fan of Extort. I think this format is a bit slower, at least it has been so far. I'm seeing regularly getting to 7 and 8 drops, or well, 7 drops of turn 8, turn 9, turn 10. So pick up the Tithe Drinker. It's a good Extort creature. I get the Decree here, Maze Abomination, Maze Glider, Summoner. Maybe we could pick that up. There's a first Guild Gate that was on color for me that I could have picked up. Gatekeepers, Beetleform Mage, again blue-green seems to be, and then the Bane Alley Brokers. Sunspire Gatekeepers, Gate, Maze Abomination. So those are the ones I'm thinking about. I think the Gate was the right pick here. Again, the 6 mana creatures, a bit awkward sometimes. So I pick up the Sunspire Gatekeepers here. So this is the one that if you control 2 gates, put a 2/2 white knight creature token into play. Again, I'm hoping I'm going to get that Orzhov Guildgate back. That doesn't come to pass. Again, okay, here's a Blaze Commando. Maybe the red-white's open. The Opalite Gatekeeper is not bad. There's a Demir Guildgate, Rakdos, Drake, and Debt to the Deathless. So black, black, white, white, and X. You gain, or target opponent loses 2 times X life. You gain 2 times X life. I think this is a possible win condition. You know, you get him down to 4 or 5 life, and then just debt to the Deathless for the win. Thinking about the Rakdos Drake and the Steeple Rock as well, but I ended up picking up the debt to the Deathless. It did win me at least one game. I ended up sideboarding it out just because it's, you know, even though I just said that the format's a little bit slower, I'm finding that card is a little bit too slow for the format. Profit and Loss, Maze Behemoth, in my colors so far. There's the Golgari, Gilgate, Drowning Filth, and Crypt Incursion. Here's my first gate that I pick up. Profit and Loss probably would have been a better pickup there. Saw that card played against me very profitably in game 2 by Nick, who's sitting to my left, who picked that card up. Said thank you very much. Maze Glider, Vital Burst, not good. Showstopper, Maze Sentinel, Boros Mastiff, Grizzly Bear, I'll take it. Think about it for a while then. So basically, in my deck, just a 2/2 for 2. Very unlikely that I'm going to get the battalion going, and even if I do lifelink, he's probably just getting jumped or blocked. So I gain 2 life off it. Riot Control, Maze Behemoth. It looks like this is my opening pack. So down and dirty, target player discards 2 cards. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Pick up the down and dirty here. A decent sideboard tech against the heavy removal deck or the card slow deck that's holding a lot of cards in his hand. Mutant's Prey versus Selesnya Cluestone. I'm not happy that I'm not seeing any of the gates come back, so I pick up the Cluestone there. I'm going to need some fixing. Cluestones aren't bad because you can cycle them out. I don't want another one though. So I got 2 Cluestones left there. I mean, Sinister Possession, probably not going to play that. Attacks or blocks, loses 2 life. Alright, so we get Orzhov Cluestone. That the Render Silent tabled again. Guess nobody wants to play that deck, or the control blue-white deck. And it should have been a huge signal that made it all the way back to me. Twice. So anyway, what do I end up picking up here? I think I pick up the Lie of Degree, which I don't end up playing. I'm not a huge fan of that card. White and 1, detain 2 target creatures. I guess it works good in the Heavy Extort deck. I can get a choice for another one here. But I'm thinking I can use the Cluestone for fixing, so that's what I pick up. Again, I'm warming up to the Cluestones, but a 3 might be a bit of a stretch. And Crypt Incursion is a decent sideboard card against the Golgari decks that are scavenging a lot of stuff. So, and off for the guilds. Not actually as bad as I think people think it is. I mean, probably not main deckable, but if you see a lot of big monocolored creatures, there are a number of them. Okay, so here we are to the Gatecrash pack. They have Basilica Screechers. Which fits what I'm trying to do here, and I'm hoping I'm going to get... This is the pack that I want to pick up a lot. Oh, True Fire Paladin, Smog Elemental, and Ooze Flux. I don't have a lot of +1/+1 counters yet, and a lot of evolved stuff, so... Yeah. I'm sort of stuck in Orzhov in this pack, based on my first pack, so there's really 2 cards, maybe 3 if you count the Smog Elemental. The Basilica Screecher is probably the easy right pick there for me. It turns out that Nick to my left was also in Orzhov, so he's cut every single good Orzhov card coming to me. Don't know if I could have gotten out of it at this point and said, okay, maybe I just go Selesnya. There's a shiny card. Another True Fire Paladin. A Mugging, Massive Raid, Night's Watch. So Assault Griffin's good. I realize I don't have a lot of removal. I don't think I have any removal except for that trick or 2 at this point. So Executioner Swing, decent pickup there. Not the kind of removal I really like, because you have to let your opponent deal some damage to either you or your creature, and then you can take it out. Aerial Maneuver would have been good. Verdant Haven, though, again, I'm worried about fixing at this point. There's a Swine, Shadow Slice. and a Hellraiser. So I guess the really choices here are between Aerial Maneuver and Verdant Haven. And I'm worried about the fixing, so I pick up the Verdant Haven. I don't think I end up playing that in the main deck, but okay, so in pack, or in this one, now we get Quartz Tree Denizen, Illness in the Ranks, Night Watch, Naturalize, Contaminated Ground. So really not a lot for us in any of our three colors there, so I just pick up the Quartz Tree Denizen. Don't have a lot of the white creatures. So Death's Approach, that looks promising. Sages of Croconura. Okay, that's a premium 3-drop green creature. I don't care what, if you're playing green, you probably want to pick that up at some point. So in goes Croconura. The fact that he has Reach is huge in a lot of games, and the Evolve certainly helps. So I get a Miming Slime, Burst of Strength, decent, Zarishi Tiger, and a Scab Clan Charger. This is one of my favorite green cards. Cheap Blood Rush. He's a 2/4 which evolves. The Croconura I just picked up. It's a nice turn progression if you go turn 3 Croconura, turn 4 Scab Clan Charger. You get 2 2/4s, one of them has Reach, and if you need to use them as the Blood Rush trick, that's decent. So I pick up the Scab Clan Charger. Although I guess I'm thinking about the Miming Slime, and I'm like, do I have anything big in my deck? And I really don't. So the Miming Slime, probably not for what I'm trying to do here. Both of those cards are better in a Gruul kind of deck, but alright, so Spire Tracer, Drakewing Krasis, woo, shiny Merfolk. Nothing really that I'm excited about here. Probably should have just hated the Drakewing Krasis. But you know, I like shiny cards, and double green for a 4/2 flash card. Maybe I'm playing it. Don't end up playing it, but it's too weak. And I'm not playing the heavy evolve deck where that gets the surprise evolve trigger going. So, and here we get an Active Treason, Beck and Apparition, and Sage's Road Denizen. I think the two best cards are Active Treason and Sage's Road Denizen in this pack, with a third choice going to Millennium Gargoyle. Nothing that, so I can't play Act and I can't play Sage's Road given what I've picked so far. So it's really between Beck and Apparition and Millennial Gargoyle. And I pick up probably the wrong pick, but I'm worried that I have too many 4-drops already. So, you know, Beck and Apparition usually isn't coming out on turn 1 because there's nothing in the graveyard, but he's still going to be out earlier than the Gargoyle. And the Smog Elemental and the Ooze Flux table, again, I don't have a lot of +1/+1s. I haven't picked up any of the Burst of Strengths or anything yet. Maybe Wildwood Rebirth would have been a better pick here to deal with decks with a lot of removal, but Smog Elementals, yeah, against the heavy flyer deck, you know, like there's that old Blue-White Skies kind of deck out there that could come in handy. You know, a little bit slow for that, but alright, and Night's Watch, not that exciting, and a shiny Purge the Profane came back. I took the Executioner swing over this the first time, but I think the shininess gets to me here, and I say, well, you know what, I can sideboard that. And I end up doing that in games 2 and match 2 and match 3. I end up sideboarding that in. Here we get Shadow Slice tables. That's pretty nice, actually. That could have gone in the deck quite easily. Although I don't have a lot of evasion, so not as good. But, you know, just 3 to the face, that can win you some games sometimes. And Naturalize, Contaminated Ground, or Paranoid Delusions. And again, let's pick up sideboard card, Naturalize. There's lots of enchantments that maybe you want to hate in this format. Crackling Perimeter or Hydroform. Yeah, sure, let's hate the Crackling Perimeter. Neither one of those cards is getting in my deck. And I get a last pick, Hydroforms. Hey, I made the right pick. Alright, let's hope that the Return to Ravnica. So I didn't get I got no Extort creatures there except for the first pick Basilicus creature. So this deck has already started to fall apart on me. I'm really worried at this point. I should have said, okay, fine, I'm Selesnya with a black splash. Maybe I could have changed that splash at this point. Here we open up a Crap Rare and Conjured Currency, and some other stuff. So but there's still a lot of picks for us in here. We have Over Jailbreakers, Rollback Rhino, Golgari Longlegs, Rootborn Defenses. So Rupert Defense is Golgari Longlegs, Ogre Jailbreaker, Rollback Rhino, Seller of Songbirds, and Sewer Shambler. Again, if I had sort of figured out that white-black wasn't going to happen, maybe I'd make a different pick here. The Seller, probably, and I could have gone to see if I could get the Populate thing to go at this point. But I pick up the Sewer Shambler. I love this creature a lot. The Scavenge, the cheap Scavenge, and you know, sometimes Swamp Walk just gets there. So here we go. Grim Roustabout, Arrest, Thrill Kill Assassin, and Launch Party, Avenging Arrow, Centaur Healer. Given the quality of the creatures that I had picked up to this point, I'm not sure that I made the right choice. Well, I think I did. This was a hard pick, though. Thrill Kill, Arrest, Launch Party, and Centaur Healer are all super strong. Very early pickable cards. Turns out, like, one of those actually comes back to me, you'll see later. But I end up picking up Thrill Kill Assassin. The 2/3 Death Touch with Unleash just gets in there a lot of the game. They're very unwilling to get in front of it. It takes out whatever he does stick in front of it, so unless it has first strike, but not a lot does in this format. Alright, so here we get Rakdos, Rick's Mighty Guildmage. Oh my god, so okay, I'm certainly not getting cut that way. I mean, red, white, black maybe was the way to go. It turns out Nick was in red, white, black, and that's why he was cutting the ores off from me previous. So his only option was really a Rakdos in this pack, but I'm sure he appreciated the Guildmage there. But anyway, I pick up the Giant Growth here. That's a solid combat trick. I'm very happy to see that back in the draft format. Now we get another Giant Growth, Perilous Shadow, Tavern Swindler, Fencing Ace, Rage Mutt, Tristani's Judgment, or Common Bond. So it really comes down to Tristani's Judgment or Common Bond. Which one do I want more? Didn't go with the counter tokens, the +1/+1 counters this time, so straight up hard removal. Maybe I can populate that Beckon Apparition token, or the... What else did I don't think that's all I've got so far. So, Hellhole Flailer, wow. So the Rakdos is coming, Dead Reveler. That was probably a better pick than this, what I ended up taking here. So I got 2 Guild Gates, and I pick up the Selesnya Guild Gate, because I already have the Golgari, and that at least gives me a chance to get the Gatekeeper that I picked up in Pack 1 going, because now I at least have 2 gates that are playable in my colors. I should have just given up on the Gatekeepers and not bothered playing them, unless, I mean, I think my creature quality is pretty sketch at this point. So here we have Azorius Justiciar, it's hard to say, Trestle Troll. So I'm debating on this. I mean, the double white, that's going to be really hard for me to cast, given that I'm sort of evenly split 3 colors, it looks like at this point. So I think that's what I want to take. Debate. And then I look at the Trestle Troll again, and like, it has reach, it regenerates, evolves Croconura at least once. Well, I guess the Justiciar does that as well, but I'm not really the Detain deck. And Trestle Troll just holds the fort a lot better, and I end up making the right pick here. I pick up the Trestle Troll. 1/4 defender with reach on turn 3 is better than a 2/2 detain on turn 4 in my deck, because I'm not ramping to that bomb that I didn't pick up. This card was an all-star for me. It held me in a lot of games. So here we get Horncaller's Chant, Swift Justice, Skull Rend, Dark Revenant, or Courser's Accord. Again, I'm a little nervous about creatures. I've already picked up the Tristani's Judgment, so maybe I can populate my Centaur tokens. Gives me another creature token that I can populate. Yeah, 2 3/3s for 6 is not bad. Here we get the Monitor, Risen Sanctuary, Archweaver, another Horncaller's Chant, Dramatic Rescue. Kinda wish I had gone blue, green, white. I think my deck would have been so much stronger if I was blue, green, white instead of blue, green, black. Maybe blue, green, white with a tiny black splash just for the other side of Ready and Willing. Anyway, you know, trample 3/3 for 4 is not terrible. Yeah, Rootborn Defense is tabled. That's pretty sweet. Another populate. It's a good combat trick. You can attack in and Wait, none of my guys die. So those trades you were hoping to make don't actually happen. Or it works on defense too. So I get Grizzly Salvage. Hey, the launch party table. So this is the pack that had like the 4 really good cards for us. So I'm really happy to see Launch Party come back here. That card is an all-star in a format where you see things like 1,000 lashes and stab wound. Just, okay, I'll take that creature and throw him away. And I get my security blockade back. Again, that gives me another token. So I'm basically playing this as a 3-mana bear. Puts a 2/2 knight with vigilance into play. The fact that it can prevent 1 damage to you a turn is a bonus if you can keep the land untapped. Half the time I'm playing it, I forget that I can tap it to prevent the damage. And we're getting down to the dregs. Rune Wing, probably should have just hated that. Train Caracals, almost never making my deck. Chronic Flooding, not making my deck. I'm not playing Bill, so. Anyway, pick up the Caracal, it's in color at least. And it prevents. So then I get a Dyna Charge. Again, not going to be able to play that, but I don't want to see it coming against me. And Urban Burgeoning, not playable. Alright, so the deck ends up looking. Oh, there's the Urban Burgeoning. Okay. The deck ends up looking like this. You can see I have 7 removal spells, or tricks, non-creature spells. Then I have 2 mana fixing. I only play 2 Cluestones. I don't end up playing the Burden Haven. I have the Debt to the Deathless is the 1 direct damage spell, sort of win condition. Non-creature creature spells, I'm talking about Beckon Apparition, Security Blockade, and the Courses Accord. So if you add those and the creatures that I actually have, so you end up with 13 creatures. Very light on the creatures, and I think that's probably one of the biggest problems other than mana. Playing 3 colors even. I think if you can in this format, it's much better if you can pick a guild and splash 1 or 2 colors in with guild gates or other fixing mechanisms. That seems to be better than trying to do the 3-way even split. You end up never getting the mana you need when you need it. But anyway, I don't do terrible in this. I end up going 2-1. I lose in the second round. I had some camera problems, so I'm not sure that I'm going to get the draft videos or the rounds posted. Apologies to my opponents if that doesn't go up. I'm also quite busy this week, so hope you guys enjoyed the draft video. You can see the deck there, and Debt to the Deathless does win me at least one game in the first match. I hang on to that stupid Gatekeeper way too long and don't play him because I'm waiting for the other gate to show up so I can give something -2/-2. Doesn't happen. Again, that's the downside of those Gatekeepers. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. Again, it's from the Connection Games and Comics, our Friday Night Magic, every Friday 6:30. Hope you can join us sometime, and thanks for watching.